Stephanie Bain, I have a books. I'm a book addict. There's so many books. Hey everyone, today's video is going to be books that I want to reread. So, I have a lot to talk about, except for, anyway. The first one I picked up is The Physic Book of Delivering Stain by Catherine Howe. This book is about a woman who's like finishing school in general, like PhD or something like that, and she has to write her dissertation. I don't know what you call that like final thing you do for your PhD before you go before like a board. But I don't remember a lot of other things that happen in here. I know that she goes to like Salem, packs some stuff up of like a lady she knew, relative, I think grandmother maybe. But I don't remember a lot of what happens afterwards. I like remember bits and pieces, and I remember really liking this book. So as soon as I bought this again, I was like, I need to reread that. Like I need to. I don't remember a lot of it. I have two here that I read in high school. And one of them I loved. The other one I didn't actually read because, you know, I had no time for that in high school apparently. This was my senior year. And like we did this whole thing where like our high school didn't have banned books, but other schools, you know, they have banned books one way or another. And she gave a list to the class, you know, here's banned books from other schools, pick one, we're gonna write like a huge report. And I had chosen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey, and no, she did not have Harry Potter on that list because that's a banned book in a lot of schools. But she's like, it's too simple for anyone to do, so she didn't want us to touch that book. But I did do this one. I used Spark Notes for the most of it. Like I did read like a third of the book, but then I stopped reading. I got really lazy with it, and I don't know why I never continued it. And then I Spark Notes myself the rest of it. But I want to reread this. It's an interesting piece of work, this one. Dracula by Bram Stoker, because I have the second one, which is Dracula the Undead by Decker Stoker. I never know if I say that right. And I really like this one. I really did. It's a really good book, but I want to reread it because I don't remember a lot of it. I mean, I remember, but it's just one of those things where I want to read it on my own terms without like trying to analyze it and all that other stuff. So, The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks. It's been 10 years since I read this book. I need to reread it. I love the movie. I love the book, and I want to get back in. I want to see Allie and Noah all over again. So this one, and of course, you know, like it's The Notebook. You guys should know what it's about. I have like a set of memoirs here by Augustin Burroughs, and I want to reread this because these are really good. And the first one is A Wolf at the Table, and this is going through his life when he was younger, and it just talks about his father and what an ass his father was in some ways. And it's a memoir of my father, so it's him young, but it focuses a lot on his dad. Then we have, I was gonna say One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And then we have Running with Scissors. This is when his father has already left and his mother is a hot freaking mess, and he ends up staying with her psychiatrist or something like that. I don't remember who he stays with, that like who that guy is. But this one's amazing. This is probably my favorite out of the three. And then we have Dry. This is when he's older, he's kind of an alcoholic, and he's going through life, and he collects like his bottles, he just leaves them all on the floor type thing. But I want to reread these three, and I want to say there's one or two more that kind of go along with his life. I definitely need to do that. I need to get myself there, like, you know. I want to reread these because I really love these two books, and I also want to continue. There's 5 books in total, and I own the third one. I don't have any other ones after that, but I need to get them. And they are the Dublin Police Squad series. I want to say that's like the shortened version of the name of the series. So we got In the Woods, which this one follows a man who, when he was younger, lived in a little town. Something happened to him and 2 of his friends. They never found his 2 friends, but they found him, and he was like filled with blood. But then guess what? He's older. He doesn't live there anymore, but there's a crime scene in the woods, and it's kind of like taunting him and whatnot. And it just follows him, and he's like it's not necessarily like a dual perspectives, but you get flashbacks of like what happened that day and what's happening now. So amazing. And by Tina French. And the second one is about his partner in this book. Well, it's about her. It's not necessarily his partner. He like just starts working with her because of like jurisdiction issues and whatnot. But in the likeness, his partner, the partner from the first book, is now in this one, and she gets called up by one of her older detectives or something like that, because she used to work like undercover, and they find a girl dead that looks just like her, and they put her, the detective, in the house to see what happened. That's all I'm telling you. It's exciting, it's riveting, and it's so good. And the thing is the likeness is it's my favorite of the two so far. They're both 5-star books, but I want to read the third one, and I just want to read both of these again. They're so beautiful. I want to reread The Story of Edgar Sotto by David Roblowski, because I never finished it. Where that mark is right there, I need to finish that little piece. And I went to go finish it, but then I was like, maybe I should just reread the whole thing, because this is written beautifully. It is a beautiful story. It's about a boy who's a mute. His father dies. His uncle comes into the picture, and then it kind of just unravels a lot of things for you. But it's beautiful. It's heart-wrenching, and it's just so sad and beautiful, beautiful. Okay, that's all I can say about it. The Host by Stephanie Meyer. This book, I have to say, is probably my favorite of hers. This is about two girls. One is a soul named Wanderer, and the other one is a girl on Earth who does not want to be taken over, named Melanie. And you know, Wanda gets put inside Melanie, as in like, you know, the soul, and like a whole bunch of things happen. It's such a good book. It's kind of hard to get through the first maybe 60 to 100 pages. I don't remember the exact number. It took me like 2 days to read that little amount of pages, like maybe 3 days, to be honest. And then after I passed that, I flew through this monster of a beautiful book, and yeah. My movie tickets. I can't wait to go see Mockingjay. The first 4 books in the Harry Potter series. Well, the first 3 I actually finished, so I need to reread that one. But then I stopped halfway through the 4th book. I want to reread that entire one and then continue on with it. I honestly do think I'm gonna start Harry Potter and finish Harry Potter once I get through the rest of like the Mortal Instruments and Infernal Devices series. So yeah, but I definitely need to reread this because I did enjoy them. I just never continued on. This is because the second book's coming out in January, and that is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I'm so excited for Golden Sun, you guys. So I want to reread this beautiful book. It's about a boy named Darrow who's 16. Well, he's a man in his like world. He was married, things happen, wife dies, he becomes a gold, and a bunch of other things start happening, and it's so good, so good. The world is so good. I think one thing I really like about this is the developing of the story. They don't spend a whole lot of time explaining everything to you right off the bat. It's like you learn things as you go, so it might be a little confusing. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's it. It makes perfect sense. Everything just makes sense. I like how he did that. So this one too. So those are the books that I like truly want to reread. I'm actually going to get like Post-its. I'm going to write all the names down of the book, put them on the side, and every month, along with all the other books I'm reading, just one book a month, I want to reread. I think it is so important that people reread their books. Especially if you really like them, you know? Because you're always looking for new and better things, but it's like, wait, you really like some of these books. You really love them. Why not reread them and get back into that world, into that whole, like, thing again? So these are the books. Some of these I want to reread because I don't remember, and some of them are just for pure enjoyment that I want to reread them. I am a book rereader. I like rereading books. I mean, I haven't reread a lot of books, but usually I reread the same books, like, over and over again. So that is my list of books I want to reread. I hope you guys enjoyed. Farewell.